Hey guys, so it's been about a week, and I said that I would do something for Friday because I said it was going to be a special time for me to do stuff, and so um, it happened. For people that know, like, I'm trans, and I went to speak to someone about my gender. I was going to say the gender clinic, but it's not a gender clinic. Um, I know my gender clinic is the one in Sheffield. Never been, but I've been to see a psychiatrist. Don't know his name, but I went to see him on Friday. I apparently was late. I read my letter wrong. Um, Amazingly, I did that. So I only had like half a session, but I still did it. I've not seen like any people record about this, and I'm gonna be quite open and honest about what happened. Um, so let's just go into it. So he asked like how my mental state is, and I was like, eh. But from what I thought it is, Emily, my best friend, thought it was worse than what I thought it was. So Emily was asked if she thought the same, and obviously she said no. um, so I was just like, I'm glad that Emily was honest, saying like, no, I think it's a lot worse than what they think their mental health is. I don't know, it's kind of interesting, but that week I had confronted Emily about how I'm not doing so good, and I'm surprised I told them because usually if I know something's coming up and they're probably gonna bring that up, I wouldn't tell them till after. But I was actually honest with them, even though I didn't seem like myself. We had to talk about uh, my self harming because I admitted to doing that, and he asked like when I started and if I still do it, and I was like, I don't do it anymore. I've been clean for about a year, but I had done it for years. I'd done it for about 6 years. I started about when I was 12, so that's year 8 in academic terms in the UK. I didn't start off doing it on my arms because I knew my mum would find out, and my dad. But I did it in other places, and I cannot find really any damaged tissue, I guess, on my skin from where I remember doing it. So it's, to me, that's not too bad. But like if you looked at my left arm, you can barely see them now, but you can tell I've had a history with it. I used to make myself sick as well. I had to bring that up as well, and apparently they don't have any record of me admitting that I used to make myself sick, and that me eating is an issue because I either miss it or I eat too much, and I used to make myself sick. And so apparently that wasn't recorded, which was really really odd. But Emily even said like she knows that I don't often eat meals, and I had to keep a food diary at college, and it was pretty empty. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm surprised like my tutor hasn't noticed, but I'm better than what I used to be, and at least I don't make myself sick anymore. And I stopped doing that when I was my first year at college, so that's nearly 3 years ago, which is a long time. But myself harming, I still have the moments where I want to do it, and it's not been as bad. And I mean, um, like, towards my birthday, so April last year, my mental state was pretty bad, especially like towards the end of college last year. I thought anyway, but I don't think I've experienced a battle with my mental health like I ever have done, and that's terrifying because I have messed up my arm really badly. I remember doing that, and it led to relationships being rocky. I am trying not to go back to those temptations, and that I felt like I needed them to get through a day. But I had to talk about it. Then we did speak about like my gender, and like when I started to question or get really confused, and I was like, I've kind of always known as a kid I didn't really bond with the girls. I bonded with guys, and it makes sense. But I know at secondary school most of my friends were girls, but I wanted to be one of the boys. I wanted to be one of them, but I wasn't. But I did get given a letter about certain things, and I thought I'd share it. So they wrote like where my doctor is. I don't know what a CPA is, but apparently I haven't got that. They recommend me taking how do I pronounce it? Trazodone, which I have had antidepressants before. I think it was like called Selexia. I only liked it at first because it sounded like Lexa from the 100. But I took that for a bit, like a few weeks, I think. And I didn't like it. It terrified me because I remember like having proper severe mood swings. And like my best friend, like my only friend at the time, they noticed like a significant difference because they were suffering with Great Depression as well, but I was given medication. And I remember like I felt so high when my mood swings were like up, and that was okay because I found it hilarious because people were like, what the fuck have they taken? But when it sunk low, that's when it terrified me. And I even like told my mum, but I remember like they tried pushing me thinking that it was gonna fix me. And I remember I was dating someone at the time, and they were terrified of me going on medication for their own reasons, and they told me, but I'm not gonna say anything. But all I remember is them being absolutely devastated, and they were like begging me not to do it. And when I had mood swings, even when they were high, they were terrified, and it was like they didn't know me. So I made the decisions to get rid of the pills without my mother knowing until I told her. I was like, yeah, I can't do it. So, I don't know how to feel about the medication bit, but I have asked Emily's opinion on it, which it means a lot, but at the end of the day, it's up to me and what I choose. But I know that even if I act loopy or whatever, that Emily's gonna support me through it. So that doesn't worry me. So I think tomorrow, when I can, I am gonna ring up and say that I do want the medication, just because last time it was a doctor prescribing it, and he's not a doctor, he's a psychiatrist. It's different. So, he said that my anxiety doesn't feel like it's general, because I'm fine in public spaces, like on a bus and stuff like that. I'm fine with public spaces. I don't know why, but I am. That's never been like an issue with me. I don't have panic attacks as much as I used to. I used to have several a week, maybe a day, and they were bad, because sometimes, like, if it's that bad, I have no clue what I'm doing. And I've had some where, like, I have wandered off and I have missed calls from people going, "Where the hell are you?" So I have that. Then I got given this, which is about the antidepressant that he suggests I should go on. I've got no idea if it's stronger than stuff I've taken. But I'll give you like a bit of like what it can do. I could feel sick or be sick, which that's why they often recommend you to take it after food. I may not be able to sleep, which that's nothing new. I may find it hard to have an orgasm or want sex. I've never done it, and I already don't have a desire for doing stuff like that. So that's not going to change anything. I may feel sleepy. That's fantastic. Being on a performing arts course, that's what I need to be, sleepy. But if it happens, it happens. But I will probably actually talk to my tutor about this tomorrow and let Emily know my decision on the hormones, or I may just send her the video when I've done editing it. I may get diarrhea, and I usually don't get that. So, if the new wife disappeared, that's probably why. So they're probably rare, but it could happen. I could have an erection. I wish. I mean, if I was born with the right parts, then that'd be funny. Feeling anxious, restless, poor sleep, and you might want to harm yourself. That's exactly why I didn't want to take these. That's basically what happened to me last time. I was proper anxious because when my friends started to look at me differently, especially when I was having severe mood swings, and people around me kept looking, that's when I was like, oh my god, I'm so anxious. I've never been so anxious, and I never am anxious in public. Like, not really. It's never caused by being in public. So it's quite funny. Apparently I'll be tired, maybe confused, and I might be unable to concentrate. That's great. Muscle cramps and fits. Well then. Again, confusion, agitation, restless, sweating, fever, fast heartbeat and shivering. Whew. I am terrified about taking stuff. Like, I feel like I shouldn't, but sometimes medication can help, and I know that because I've had people have it even when I felt uncomfortable that they're taking it, because I'm like, well, if they have what I had and maybe they don't stop and then the thoughts get too much for them. I know I have people that if I talk to them saying like, I'm maybe starting antidepressants, this and this could happen, but I'm more scared because it's a psychiatrist recommending it and not a doctor. And this is what they specialise for. I really didn't think I was this bad. And apparently I am. that I could battle it by myself and that it'll disappear. Yeah, I'm scared. And I don't know if it's a good enough reason to be scared for, but you know, you can't always help it. But we'll have to see how I think about part 2, and I'll let you guys know how medication is. But I don't want to hide stuff while vlogging because it's a journey I have to take to make myself better. So if I want to get better, I have to take any chance I've got and every opportunity, haven't I? But don't be put off by others. It's just me going through it and me being open about me being uncomfortable about talking about stuff. And if any of you guys are, it's literally fine because they're not going to judge you for it. They're just trying to get to know you and see what the best route is for you to take your journey. And I've never met or had anyone vlog that they have severe mental health issues and then they've been recommended to go on medication. I haven't met or seen any videos of a trans person saying that. And so one of you guys might come across it and be like, oh, I'm not the only one. But that's why I vlog, so no one feels like they're left out. And it's okay. Because I know that it will get better sooner or later. And you know, you gotta keep going. That's all you can do. So I will go now. Hope you guys have a good day. I'm doing completely nothing and watching Heather's. So I'm gonna go. Bye.